So welcome to this tutorial on feet, advanced foot movements. So often it's not the individual movement that is the issue, it's the combination of movements. So for instance, if we go from the second Pung Lu Jian into single whip, we've got our feet a nice width, we sit back and we turn the toe, and then we have to pivot on the bubbling wellspring and bring the foot in, and then open the qua, drop the weight, and at that point turn the toe. So we're still in a nice broad bow stance, not too broad, but broad bow stance. And then into cloud hands, we turn to close the dragon's mouth, and then the foot comes back. Now, not all the way in, but back. Second one parallel, third one parallel, and then another single whip with the foot turned in. And then we go into the narrow stance for pat the horse. A second sequence that people find often confusing is snake creeps down. So the important bit here is the position of the foot, which should be in line with the heel of the supporting foot, but there's no weight transfer. The snake's head comes down and along parallel to the ground, and it turns the front foot together in harmony. But then the back foot turns in, so you're not straining the knee. From there, you sit back a little bit so you can turn the toe, and that enables you to come up into rooster on one leg. And then as you come down, the toes almost are in an L shape, and the left heel slips down around. Sink into the leg, position the foot in line with the heel of the other foot, but no weight change. And then a down and along. Turn the front foot, turn the back foot in. And then an option here, which I find helpful, is to push the heel in, not turn the toe in, and then come up into rooster. I find it just slightly easier. Both are correct. So there's snake creeps down. A third sequence, and it's the sequence, not the individual moves, is from pat the horse to the kicks. So we're in a weighted rear leg, left heel just slightly lifted, not too much, not a lot of weight in. Foot and hand come in, and then they step diagonal, and you open to the embrace position, and the foot comes in. Now you turn your head to the corner, not the shoulders or hips, and that enables you to lift for the kick. Foot comes back. As you turn the shoulders to the corner, and here open the qua so you've got a nice stance, and you're looking ahead, not down. From there, the toe turns on the heel, the right toe turns on the heel, and then change the weight, and the left toe will pivot on the bubbling wellspring, and you can bring the foot in. Now again, here an option, I just turn the right toe a little bit, so I'm into the right posture for the second kick. And then you're into snake creeps down. And then the classic challenge for a lot of beginners is from grasp the peacock's tail in one direction to the other direction. So you're in a nice bow stance for pushing weight forward 60-40 in the leg. Sit back, the hands block, which helps you come around, and the toe turns. Now you change the weight into the left leg, and the right foot will pivot on the bubbling wellspring, and then you bring the foot across so that when you've turned the left foot, you're ready for a bow stance in the other direction. And you get the weight change constantly from the back leg to the front leg. And then just to link that to what we were doing is single whip. Turn in the back foot so you don't strain the knee. Now for more advanced students doing the change from grass to the peacock's tail, you sit back and you turn, take the weight, continue to turn and just put the foot down and then turn the back foot in. So there's no need to tap down halfway through. Okay. And then very basic, the good old cat walking, something you can practice no matter how many years you've been doing Tai Chi. So one foot comes forward and that determines your width. It's shoulder width for the standard bow stance. Turn the foot, bring the center of gravity forward, empty the leg of weight, it will float in and float back out. And so the transition is smooth, you're under control all of the time. And the foot, although it's traveling in a straight line, does an arc. So standard bow stance. Now, there's your standard bow stance. For part of the wild horse's mane, the energy is across the body to the shoulder, and so you might be slightly broader. It might not look very different, but the feel will be different. So you're opening your body to the side, not going forward. And then one more. So that might be a slightly broader than shoulder width stance for part of the wild horse's mane. Brush knee and push is standard width. As I say, it doesn't maybe look very different, but it should feel different when you're doing it. Narrow stances. We have narrow stances quite a bit. So for instance, crane spreads its wings, the weight's in the back, the left heel is just lifted slightly, and it's not too far from the other foot. So you're nice and balanced, so you can lift the foot if you needed to. For play the peeper, again, you're in your back foot, the front toe is lifted, and the sensation is compression across the hands, and maybe even sinking, rooting into the floor. So there's a couple of narrow stances. Another narrow stance, needle to see bottom, where the front foot, the heel is lifted, you're folding in the middle, you're looking ahead. So another narrow stance. And then from there, you stand up in a narrow stance, but you go into a standard bow stance for open the shoulders or fan through the back. And here's something that causes lots of confusion, the transition. Sit back, only turn the toe. The arms don't move relative to the body. Change the weight and the other foot will pivot, but it's still ahead of your left leg. And then the foot comes in, ready for deflect. Parry, back to bow stance, turn in the toe and punch. So if I do that coming the other direction, so needle to see bottom, heel lifted, open, bow stance, open the quad, weight forward into the leg, 60-40. Sit back and turn the toe, and then change the weight, and the heel will lift and pivot, and then you can bring the foot back in. And while the hands rotate, where the heel was, where the toe was, the heel's replaced it. And then this is more a pivot with the hips moving the arm, not the arm moving the body. And then you step and punch. Underneath and push. Ending, sit back, turn the left toe, turn the right toe out, not straight forward, so you can come into your right leg to block both ways. And then as the hand comes back, the toe straightens and comes back shoulder width. And then the hands come down and the foot comes in. So that is the majority of the advanced feet movements, where you're transitioning from one move to the other, using your center of gravity to keep your balance, whatever it is you're doing. So I hope that helps. So getting a different perspective on some of those, from the first push in grass peacock's tail, turn, turn, change, weight, turn the toe, pung the other way. Coming back, turn, turn, in, turn and step. And if you're at the advanced stage, the foot doesn't need to touch down, it can just go straight out and turn in the back toe for balance. On 3 cloud hands, sit back and turn to block, bring in the foot and take out the arm for the single whip, open the quad, sink and turn in the back toe. So you're sinking and rooting as well as opening the shoulders. Turn the foot to block and close the dragon's mouth. You want to turn the right foot as well, maybe. Look, the right foot has to come back on that first one. Not all the way in, but close, a fist, fist and a half. Second one, the feet are parallel. Third, the feet are parallel. And then here, relax the shoulders, open the quad, sink and turn in the back toe. So there you've moved horizontally. And then obviously the empty step for pat the horse. Diagonal step, turn the head for the first kick. Here, turn the shoulders and the torso, so when you step, you've got width, side bow stance. Sit back, turn, pivot into the embrace position, and I just turn the toe a little to make it more comfortable for the second kick. Here we go, relax the shoulders, position the toe but no weight change. Down and along, turn the front foot, turn the back foot in, protect front and back, and into rooster. As the foot comes down, the 2 toes are close, and you just slip the heel. Second snake creeps down. Turn the toe with the hand, in with the back hand. Second rooster. Now for the next sequence, I'll come a bit closer to make it easier. Step to the corner, hold the ball, toe just touches down. Open the quad so that as you turn, you're in a side bow stance to the corner for Jade Lady throws the shuttle. Hold the ball, open the quad, turn rolling wrist and push. around for needle to see bottom, heel lifted, looking forward. Relax the shoulders. Bow stance, open the shoulders, sink the foot. Turn the toe, nothing else. Change the weight to pivot. Bring in the hand and the foot. Clenched fists are out, is just an open, relaxed circle. Deflect, 3 things. Rotate, vertical, and the toe is replaced by the heel. So deflect. Now take the left arm out and then move it with your hips and torso, so it's not an arm movement. Step bow stance and punch. Split and push. Sit back, turn the left toe, turn the right toe out and block in, feet shoulder width, over the top and down. So I hope that helps with the foot positions.